best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Ladies and gentlemen, boxing fans joining us around the world, we welcome you once again to the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Mega Fight Night tonight. All being brought to you by DiBella Entertainment, Gary Shaw Productions, in association with Prize Fight Boxing. Here we go, fight fans. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds of action. This in the super middleweight division. At the sound of the bell, your referee in charge of the action, the renowned Bill Clancy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the principals in this contest, beginning with the fighter in the blue corner, wearing camouflage trunks and weighing in at a tough 168 pounds even. He joins us tonight, representing Charleston, West Virginia. His professional record, 8 victories, 11 on the downside. He has 2 draws and 3 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing James the Heat North. His opponent tonight, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the Tyger striped trunks and weighing in at an always tough 165.5 pounds. He joins us tonight representing Massillon, Ohio, with his professional record unblemished as a pro, 18 victories, no defeats. He has 13 big wins coming by way of knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Tommy the Tiger Hanshaw. Once again, your referee, Bill Clancy, now to give the fighters their final instructions.
All right, gentlemen, we're scheduled for 6 rounds. We went through the rules already. I want you to give me a good, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times, and gentlemen, you must obey my commands. James, as I just told you, I will accept punches at the top of your belt here. Tony, you're fine. Any questions here? Tony, any questions? Gentlemen, touch close. Good luck and God bless.
Here we go once again, fight pass. Scheduled for 6 rounds, super middleweight division.
So we're set to go. Hanshaw again in the Tiger print and in the camouflage trunks is James North. North is a good, but he's got a strong jab. He's never been down in his career day, but he has been cut. In fact, he was cut in his last fight. He was cut over the left eye, but that was by a headbutt in a fight against Roger Cantrell in Tacoma, Washington, and that was in April. Also in April, he had a 3rd round technical knockout win over Ed Goins in Greensboro, North Carolina, so he can bang a little bit. Hanshaw, very extensive amateur career. He was through the U.S. Olympic system, a lot of amateur experience, signed with Main Events, and now he's with Gary Shaw. He fought the 99 Golden Gloves and lost to Jermaine Taylor. And in 2000 in the Olympic trials, he also lost to Jermaine Taylor. So he's had plenty of experience in the amateurs against great fighters. But as a professional, Hanshaw in the Tiger print, going to work early here, Dave, is undefeated at 18-0. It looks to be a good one.
Hanshaw is used to winning, whereas his opponent North has been used to losing lately, and we'll see about that trend. Losing works on a guy's mind. North has not been able to get over the top in fights. Hanshaw has been hot. He's actually been able to win some long fights in his career, 10-rounders. So this one being shorter should feel like a sprint for him.
Well, and looking at 2 fighters, you can clearly see the ability of Hanshaw against North. In North's defense, he's taken a lot of fights on short notice and against strong and up-and-coming fighters. But he's back with his old coach Rivers, and he's looking to kind of jumpstart his career. But he's got a very tough guy again to try to jumpstart. He's getting pummeled right now by Anthony Hanshaw.
Yeah, I think he's in deep trouble here.
Digging body shot, flasts him with a right-hand power shot to the body, and left hooks, the uppercut. North needs either grab him or slide down the rope to get out of there. Right now, he finally decides to hang on, and referee Bill Clancy separates the 2. But North is just shell-shocked right now by the assault of Hanshaw in the early going here. Round 1 of his scheduled 6-round affair, and it's all Hanshaw right now.
When a guy knows that you can't stop him coming in, he steps up the offense, and so Hanshaw is landing a number of good, high-quality shots in succession, and he's an early threat to stop North. And you talked about the fact he's been on his feet throughout his career, but this could be the night that changes.
Hanshaw is a world-class ability, and he knows it, and he's fighting with great confidence. And he's had his nights against real class fighters where things haven't gone his way. As I mentioned, his amateur fights with Jermaine Taylor, who you'll see in action later on this evening, who is the class of the middleweight division right now, although Winky Wright might have something to say about that before this night is over. Hanshaw on the assault. I like that slick move where he rotates his right shoulder in off to the left shoulder of his opponent and gets in position to throw his left hook.
And he does it quickly.
Yeah.
Doesn't waste any time.
Nice tight defense coming in, but he's just throwing defense caution to the wind because he's totally confident North can't get anything going with his jab. Tries to throw a light jab, but there's nothing there because he threw it in an awkward position. He squares up when he throws his jab as the bell ends round one. That's a strong 10-9 round for Hanshaw. If we use the full 10 points in scoring, then it'd be about a 10-7 round.
Right.
We just call it when you win the round 10-9.
You got to get that jab out there fast.
convincingly.
You got to get off before him. All right?
Yes, sir.
You're waiting and you're letting him get off, and he's getting off more
Richard
and more.
Rivers,
You
his old
understand?
coach, is back with him,
Jab
and they're
off.
trying to tell him
Get
you
that
got to
jab
get
on.
off early
Everything
and get
for
off
that jab.
first. But that's, you know, great instructions,
One
but
woman.
it's tough for North to do against a guy with
Everything for
the
that
world-class
jab, you
ability
understand?
of
Don't let him get off first, and
Hanshaw.
that's what
There's the
he's doing.
Tiger in action now, Dave.
It might work in the gym against lesser guys, but here, yeah, you're getting drilled and you're getting hurt with good shots coming. Look at the leverage of Hanshaw. Look at him step in, keep his balance, fight. He's oozing with confidence right here. Good jab, the right hand behind it, and he's just following North back. And there's that little quick step you talked about. He jumps right in.
Here we go, round number 2. The Colonel Bob Sheridan here with Dave Bontempo. We're at the FedEx Arena, and they call it the FedEx Forum here in Memphis, Tennessee. Our principal's in there, Anthony Hanshaw, on the Tiger print to the left of your screen, and the camouflage trunks now to the left of your screen is James the Heat North. North's record is 8-11-2 with 3 knockouts, so it's not likely he can land any power shots that are going to hurt a guy with the ability of Hanshaw. Hanshaw, on the other hand, has 13 knockouts and 18 wins. And North, as we mentioned, has never been off his feet. And Dave said, well, maybe tonight's the night that changes. And it certainly has the look of that right now. Round 1, a very strong round 1 for Anthony Hanshaw. And again, Dave, he's just losing with confidence because everything is working for him and nothing is working right for North.
He's able to dig in, get his left hooks home. He's able to score with the jab and then set up the power shots behind it. He's scoring well to the body, which could set some things up for later. He's got a height advantage here, and basically he's forcing North to react to everything that he does. It's target practice at this point for Hanshaw.
And right in the prime of his career, 28 years of age, and North at 32. He's got the height and reach advantage, and now he bounces forward. Let's fly with the right hand. Bounces off the forehead of North. North hangs in there, takes an uppercut. He can't hang around here in the ropes. He's got to slide down the ropes to grab onto this guy. He's going to get pummeled up against the ropes. And that's the right idea, getting out of there anyway, and try to get Hanshaw with his back against the ropes. But Hanshaw just doesn't stop throwing shots, and he's landing most of them.
Give me a break, let him out,
You're looking at a guy who's been fighting in 10-round affairs, and they tell him it's a 6-rounder. You know, he's got 50% more endurance to pour into 6 rounds here practically, and for him, he is showing the increased pace. He can go 10, so he can go 6 hard, and he's really working very well, and the body shots are repeating here. Good work by Hanshaw.
Hanshaw up on his toes, sets it up with the jab, looking to throw the powerful right hand. What he wants to do is throw the left jab and then circle back to the left shoulder of North and try to crush him with the right hand. Not quite in position that time, but a chopping right hand in there. Half uppercut, half hook with the left hand that time by Hanshaw, but everything working for him. Digging body shots, and now North's corner yells for him. Richard Rivers saying, get off the ropes there. And that's good instructions, but he lands the looping right hand, does Hanshaw. Hanshaw pot shotting now, digging body shot, pummels him back upstairs in the head, loads up the right hand this time. And this is a frustrating fight for James North. He's as game as can be. But, you know, Dave, it's so hard when nothing's working and you just know that your opponent's overpowering you and there's nothing you can do to stop him, really.
You're on different levels, and if you're on the wrong end of that, that's a lonely place to be inside that ring.
I talked to North for quite a while yesterday. He seems a really nice kid. Haven't met Hanshaw, but I hear good reports about him from everyone that's around him, including Gary Shaw and
mean, on
all
the
of the
side.
people that work with him.
Wide open here. So you drop
Danny
down,
died a
hook him
couple
over
of
here,
years ago.
bring your right hand
From that
back here,
time, he
and you're
didn't
coming
fight.
up
He
deep,
was messed
underneath
up
good. So you
emotionally
want
for
to
a
uppercut,
while,
punch him up underneath.
and everyone wanted to know what happened
when
to
you
him.
stand him up and you get him up,
And
feint
nothing
him,
really
and then go
happened
1,
to him
2,
except
3
he
right
had a
down
few
the middle.
emotional
All right?
problems. He's working with John Russell of Buster Douglas fame. John worked in
Good head movement,
with
good
Buster
slipping.
Douglas during Buster's
Don't
great
fall
years
in, all
when
right?
Buster
Keep your
won the
balance.
title.
Good 45
And
degree
John
angle.
handles a lot of fighters up there in the
There you go.
Ohio area. And across the way to North, one with his old pals, Richard Rivers and
I know it, man.
Keith
Going
Barr
around
working
punching.
with
I know,
him.
that's what I want.
You know, take it
Push
back to the
yourself.
point you were talking about with Hanshaw
push
and his
yourself,
dad.
go back.
He
All
hasn't
right,
fought
don't
since
quit.
July of 04. Guy that's been off for nearly 2 years and showing no ill effects so far.
Now, whoever selected the opponent, it's just perfect for him. A little bit smaller, a little bit less ability, and it's perfect for Hanshaw, who has that nice record of 18-0 and a couple more wins under his belt if he can get busy, real busy, because he's got to make up for those lost couple of years. He's 28 years of age now. He stopped fighting at 26 because of the problems we alluded to. But he doesn't seem ring rusty at all, does he?
He's really wailing with his shots on the inside. He's nice and tight. He's getting the maximum leverage and power from them. He's keeping a good pace in the fight. He's right on top of North. He's all over him. Scoring from any angle he wants.
It's that 168-pound division. As you watch this guy walk on North, he's just pummeling it right now. North's head's down. He takes the uppercut. Nice left hook. He better start answering some punches. Bill Clancy has got an excuse to rule that fight. And he calls a standing 8 count. It's up to 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Well, there's a good example of why the 8 count, the standing 8 count is good, because, you know, where he wasn't answering, Bill Clancy in another situation, another state, where the guy's not answering punches, could have stopped the fight. But here, he has the option of giving him the standing 8 count, which counts the same as a knockdown, but the fighter gets a chance to recover, and they are professionals, so you don't want to stop the fight unless you have to.
I love the standing 8 count, and I wish that was part of the unified rules, because too many times referees are put in all or nothing situations regarding those calls. Here's an example of a referee getting some latitude and able to read into it, and he saved North, who was going down.
You know, and we haven't done a fight here in Tennessee in a while. In fact, I haven't done one here since Mike Tyson fought here against Lennox Lewis, and you know, right at the top of my head, I wasn't thinking of the standing 8 count, and I was saying, you know, Bill Clancy could move in here and stop the fight, but then it dawned to me, oh, wait, we're using the local rules here. I realized he was going to give him the standing 8, chopping right hand that time. Hanshaw, it's kind of academic, because he's just really beating this guy up right now. Uppercut, Bill could give him another standing 8 count, although he's not visibly shaken. Remember, this is a guy that's never been down in his career and only cut once. That time, the ropes kind of held him up. And I mean, Hanshaw just all over him. And nothing that North can do. The 168-pound division is a good one with Joe Calzaghe, Mikhail Kessler, Marcus Bayer, Anthony Mundine, who had a big win over Danny Green in Australia a couple of weeks ago. Jeff Lacey, Manny Siaka's in there. Some good fighters. Robin Reed, England, in that 168-pound division, still fighting. So those are some good ones. Closing seconds of the 3rd round, all Hanshaw on that one, and that one you can score 10-8 with the standing 8 count.
Good combinations in there. Work with him, man. How you feeling? Tired.
No, taking it on. No.
Look. Step up
Taking
in the
a lot of
combination.
punishment.
Don't blow. Don't blow. Once you
Now, we
step
talked
up
about
in
that big fight in
combinations,
Australia.
all right?
Dave and
Stop
I are
letting
going
him
out
get
to the
on so much.
Philippines on July 3rd for that fight
Feel the heat,
with
right? Look at me.
Manny
Feel the heat,
Pacquiao
right? Put some
Oscar
heat on that
Larios.
ass,
We're
all
going to
right?
say hello to
You're
our
not
friends
doing
Tony
that.
Caradonna, the big
You
promoter
get
down in
heat on
Australia,
you.
and Ray
Put some
Wheatley of the
combinations out there, get up
IBF
them ropes, son.
and the World of Boxing magazine for all the great work they've done with the Australian fighters. Look at this, Dave.
And here he is, Hanshaw, applying the pressure.
In here, Memphis.
And the standing 8,
Too quiet in here,
it's a
Memphis.
slumping 8 count.
Yeah.
It's a new term, because he's just loading up and getting all of his shots in here. A real beating delivered here by Hanshaw.
All right, we're coming up to the 4th round. Say hello to Naif Shok and the godfather of Mayhaw Shok, who trains all those kids at the Port Phillip Boxing Club down there in Australia. And a lot of congratulations to Vic Cheney and then Rocky Katsinas with big wins, and our middleweight champ down there, Adam Villa. And I mentioned the great job that Mundine did against my pal Danny Green, and Sammy Solomon coming back to the States when he finishes doing his movie. So that all Australian thing is going well, Dave. Going well. My old pal, of course, Shannon Taylor down there. Right now, we're in Memphis, Tennessee. This is fourth round action, and it's all Anthony Hanshaw. Been out of action for 2 years. Had a difficult time recovering from the death of his dad, and he's got everything working for him, both physically in this fight and certainly emotionally. Everything working for him in this fight against James North. We're in round 4. It's scheduled for 6, and I doubt if it's going to go that far because it's all Hanshaw. Bill Clancy keeping his eyes focused on James North. And what can he do, Dave? Can North do it? I mean, just put his ears back and let it fly and just let one last big flurry go and see if he can get lucky.
I think you try to become smaller, bob and weave, and then take a quick shot, because on the outside, he's just a big target. He's got to sneak his way inside. But you know what? When you're getting hit with speed like this, all you can do is cover up. But if you just invite him, the referee to step in and stop the fight. You get the speed of Hanshaw. Remember, he's a 10-round fighter, stuffing his energy into 6. All these factors are coming together. And yeah, North has nothing to lose. But you just can't wing it. You have to strategically wing it. First, you get yourself small, bob and weave, and take your chance.
Well, it's all Hanshaw again, and Bill Clancy taking a close look into the eyes of James North to make sure his eyes are clear, because Hanshaw is just teeing off on him. And here's a kid, I mean, he's letting it fly. He's a fighter, Dave. There's no question about it. I won't take that away from North. But things aren't going his way, and Hanshaw, on the other hand, is having a terrific night for a comeback fight after a 2-year layoff.
Well, the North needs to be matched differently. He's game, but he needs to fight other game guys from where he lives and try to get into regional fights and stay at the level. The big thing about boxing is fighting on a level you can compete at. If they throw him into against all these unbeaten guys and people on their way up, that's a tough task.
And that's been exactly what's happened in his career. I mean, this is a pretty good fighter, but in all honesty, he's a journeyman fighter, and he's overmatched against this kid. Has world-class ability that he's fighting tonight, and it's not going to work out for him unless he gets very, very lucky. And he has all the heart in the world, but he just doesn't have the same ability, as Dave said, on a different plane than Anthony Hanshaw. Hanshaw loads up his shot, whistles past the nose that time. He bangs it with the right hand lead that time. Left hand uppercut on the inside. Just a nice round again for Hanshaw, as apparently James North will survive the 4th round here. And to make it official. So in my score sheet, every round in favor of Hanshaw, and the 3rd round, a 10-8 round with the standing 8.
So we get the mega fight after party going on tonight.
How you doing? You know what I mean? You're working. Don't work so close to it. Roll with that hook. When you roll up with the left hook. All right, use them shoulders and roll into it. He's over for it.
Hanshaw doing whatever he wants. Gets the left hook through. Good work here. Referee was considering stepping in here, but North able to hold on for that brief second and keep that off.
You got some water?
Well, he's never been down in his career. He was cut in the last fight by the left thigh, but that was a headbutt. And he's taken all kinds of pummeling from Hanshaw, and he's still hanging in there. So James North is no quitting this kid. He's a tough, hard fighter. But he's overmatched against Hanshaw, who looks terrific tonight against James North. Hanshaw to the left of your screen in the Tiger print trunks, and in the camouflages, James North. Hanshaw undefeated, 18-0. His first fight back after a 2-year layoff, which we explained to you what that was all about. And James North has been busy, but things aren't going his way. He looks very awkward right now. Part of that's fatigue that makes him look even so much more awkward than he really is.
He's getting hit 5 times for every time he winds up and throws a shot. He has a ton of heart and does give you the idea that if put on a different circuit, he would be competitive. But here, it's just target practice for Hanshaw. And it's tough emotionally on a fight.
Well, Hanshaw needed a fight like this and an opponent like this to find out where he was in his career, too. And it looks like he's just picked up where he left off a couple of years ago when he was busier fighting. His last fight, after all, you go back to July of 04, almost a full 2 years ago, and he had a first-round knockout victory over Victor Macice in Canton, Ohio. So he comes back strong here in Memphis. And I'll be looking forward to seeing more of him. He's a Gary Shaw fighter, so we'll get to see him fight some more. Let's see, just landing nice, clean right hand right through the tight defense of North. But North, just the inability to do anything offensively right now. He's just in a catching mode and a survival mode right now.
Now, if you're Hanshaw, what you're worried about is hurting your hand to the top of your opponent's head. You know, you've got a lopsided fight. You've got a 5-point edge on the scorecards. It's just a matter of counting it down or getting your opponent out. And these are the times in the fights where you just kind of wish it was over now.
Yeah, well, in his case, you know, he'd probably be well advised in trying to land some body shots, working his body technique, his hooks to the body. But that's not the nature of a fighter, as we know. The guy wants a knockout. He sees that chin sitting there. He wants to crush the shots to the side of the head, trying to hit him right on the jaw. And he's done a fair share of that, but hasn't been able to shift James North. North in the first round was in a lot of trouble, and again in the third round he got in a bit of trouble. Nice uppercut, that's a new wrinkle. There's a nice uppercut followed by the right hand, double right hand, bangs him on the inside, catches him up behind the ear, hangs on the ears down as North tries to walk him back. North has got the right idea, try to walk him back in the heels, kind of like Francois Bota did while he lasted against Mike Tyson. But you know, you got to walk him back and then try to bank him when you separate. But that hasn't been the case tonight for James North. Things just aren't working to the way he would like things to be going for him. He avoided that shot that time with his back to the ropes. Hanshaw ready to attack. Comes to the uppercut, the glazing right hand to the left side of the head of James North. And it's just a boxing lesson for Hanshaw against North right now. North actually targeted him, caught right at the bell, and then apologizes. So that one was in motion, but another 10-9 round in my score sheet for Hanshaw. Has won every round in this fight.
I got you. I got you. Your turn.
Well, there's one round to go, and the big thing for Hanshaw.
Last round, baby. Touch him up. Good luck.
He just hasn't been able to drop it yet.
Last round.
I got it now.
Doing this.
Took me a minute.
Make it easy.
And his Hanshaw, as our old friend John Russell talks to him.
Round 6th and final round.
Work behind your jab, Tony. Work behind your jab. And then try that 1, 2, 3 down.
Let's go to work. Let's go to work.
With about 15 seconds to go before the hit.
Wipe me up good, Red Corner. Wipe me up good.
The sixth and final round ready to start. Bouncing around, so he's filled with courage, you might say. And let's see how he does here in the 6th and final round. Hanshaw in the Tiger print, North in the camouflage. North to the right of your screen. Couldn't wait to get round 6 going. Let's see if he can get an offense going now. Instead, it's Hanshaw letting off for the opening barrage. He scores a nice stiff jab. Like to see him step up into that jab like that.
But Hanshaw's had it all working on, but he's been fighting the last half a round, early part of this one. Like
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
he's ready to settle for a decision unless something radical changes.
I don't know. The heads came together just
All
well.
right, let's go. Watch your
The
head.
head butted in the mouth. You just can't stop. You got to keep going, but it seemed to stagger him, whatever happened there. And I'm not 100% sure it was a headbutt. I mentioned he got head-butted in his last fight, but he stopped and was feeling his mouth like something happened. Did you see the heads coming in him? I didn't notice it.
He got that or an elbow in the mess.
Yeah, that's a possibility, too. But these kids are kind of tough, though. They're just no quitting. Minute 56 seconds to go in this fight, and it's been all Anthony Hanshaw as the uppercut, right hand behind the ear. Boy, is he clear-eyed and look at determination in his face. He wants to end this thing if he possibly can. Holds up the right hand, glancing blow, nice straight right hand that time. Misses.
No. Give me a break.
Hanshaw must be wondering, when is this guy going to go someplace? Because I have hit him with everything. 3 kitchen sinks.
3 kitchen sinks, 2 elbows, I guess. Maybe a head. I'm not sure it was an elbow or a head. We got blood coming from the mouth of James North. But James North, even when he was being pummeled when he took that standing 8 count in the 3rd round, his legs never buckled.
Right.
And no tendency to go down and get any respite at all with this guy. He is some kind of tough. But the better boxing has been Hanshaw throughout the course of this fight. Hanshaw gives him a break that time as North's back it to him. Nice feigning movement that time as he dipsy-doodled with the right shoulder and then hit him with the left hook.
Hanshaw debating here. He's actually going squared up for a second and going lefty.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking of. You're exactly right. Sometimes guys do that when they get fatigued. You better keep his hands up because a left-hand wrist just below his jaw. If it got him, it could have dumped him. Because this guy, don't forget, in 3 of his last 4 fights, he scored knockouts. So this guy can punch a little bit. You don't want to win the entire fight and lose the last second. Hanshaw wants to make sure he keeps those hands up. And when you come into the kill zone, don't get careless. When you're undefeated and everything's gone your way, you don't want to get kicked and have something go the other way. And of course, James North would love for that to happen. And based on how gritty he's been, it'd be nice to see him have a little bit of success tonight because he's a good kid and a good athlete.
10 seconds.
But we're in the closing seconds of the fight right now. North right in front of him trying to hunt down Hanshaw. In the 6th round, but it was Hanshaw who dealt out most of the significant blows. So I have him pitching a shutout here.
Yeah, quite a good performance by Hanshaw. He tried very hard to stop North. He got the standing 8 count going. Actually, the referee intervention may have halted him from doing more damage in that scenario. And then when it came time to box and accept the decision, he did that.
Yeah,
Well, this will go to the scorecards. I have it scored 60-54. And we'll see how the judges have it. They can't have it much different from the way we have it with the 10-8 round and the 3rd round. And I can't possibly see that they could have given James North any of the other rounds in the fight. Possibly the last round, no doubt.
Shouldn't be much to add up here. You shouldn't see that ringside confusion like you do in close fights.
I'm sorry, we going to the gym?
The decision here is academic.
took this fight.
Anthony Hanshaw is
So
going
what?
to win a unanimous
We're going to the
decision.
gym, we work now.
And I've already put it on my sheet, David.
And a shutout.
That's
and almost a no-hitter.
Right. We'll make it official as soon as our ring announcer, J.D. Lyons, has the score sheets. We will make it official for you. And then we have a welterweight fight coming up, scheduled for 8 rounds, followed by the main event of the evening, the Jermaine Taylor-Winky Wright fight. So wherever you're watching around the world, you stick right with us. They're still gathering up the score sheets over there. As Dave said, it can't be too hard to add these score sheets up. They can't be far off. Special hello referee friend Bruce McTavish over in the Philippines. Bruce, Dave and I will be with you on July 3rd for the Manny Pacquiao fight.
All right, let me get the gloves off.
All right, our ring announcer's set. Let's make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards, and we have a unanimous decision. All 3 judges, Gerald Deming, Gary Ritter, and James Deming, all 3 scoring the bout exactly the same at 60-53. All 3 for your winner by unanimous decision, Tony the Tiger Hanshaw.
All right, so it's official. Anthony Hanshaw gets a unanimous decision victory over James North.